Well, good afternoon, everybody. Michael, soothing here. Just relaxing, finally, after spending the last week and a half or so working on rehabbing a house down in Coos Bay. But I'm done with that project now, and I can resume making a few videos. Although I'm so tired, my brain might not be quite up to the task. What I thought I would do today is have a little bit of this Big League Chew, first of all, because I just feel like chewing on something. I'm still working on the sour apple. I like it. Sweet and sour in combination, you know. But I wanted to show you this pillow. Because I really, I like metallic colors that are green, blue, violet, purple, anything like that. This reminded me, see how it changes hue depending on what direction the sun is reflecting off of it. I like iridescent colors in this end of the spectrum. I'm an avid fisherman, and I've caught certain species of fish that this reminded me of some of their scales, because I've caught, for example, some large bluegill that had colors like this in the sun on part of them. Chelsea says this pillow reminds her of a mermaid tale, because she's always been into mermaids, I always wondered, why would a guy be attracted to a mermaid since you can't really go underwater and hang out with them much? I guess your relationship would be confined to when they're sunning themselves up on a rock or something. But this does look like marine scales of some kind, water themed. Now the interesting thing about this pillow is you can make patterns in it and do all kinds of stuff, and it will look different. What is this called? Stimmy or something, when you're doing ASMR with doing something with your hands. Like, for example, if you wanted to be romantic, with your girl or something, I think you could make a heart on this thing. Should I show this to Scorpio NYT, my ASMR girlfriend? Is there enough room to put JA for Joanne here? Not quite enough room. But you could do a lot of different themes on this pillow, I think. And if I was feeling more creative at the moment, I would do more stuff. You know, what's the phase of the moon right now? Maybe we can do a moon. But I don't think so. Nope. How about a half moon? Do you know there's going to be... That doesn't look like anything I can recognize. It looks like something... It looks like a platypus with like a duck bill or something coming off of it. You know what this would be good for? I'm going to come back and do a role play. I should stop making these promises because I always promise you and I write it down, but then I don't have the time to follow through on all of my promises, and I feel bad about that, but I have every good intention of following through. Anyway, what this would be good for would be a tool for a psychotherapist, because you could have the patient do some stuff on here, and then you could say, what does it remind you of, right? Like, that might be a camel, for example. But if somebody's in a really bad frame of mind, they might say, that's a little two-legged demonic being coming to oppress me, right? So you analyze their state of mind based on how they perceive things. I think I should do a role play as a psychotherapist, since I've in my life been involved with a lot of family counseling sessions in the past, read a lot of books on the topics. I think I might be able to do that. So maybe sometime in the future, right? Don't ask me what that is, because I don't know. I think I was playing hangman and got carried away right there. Maybe you could communicate like smoke signals on this thing. Or you could do a letter and say, who am I trying to tell you about? If I put the letter A, for example, it could be my GF, Joanne, also known as Anne, or Scorpio Anne. But there's so many things you could do with an object like this. So I think I'll bring it back in a future role play video. And I will be your therapist for a day. Talk to you about relationship issues, what your struggles might be, the differences in how the genders perceive things, and how that can lead to miscommunications. I will listen to your concerns and complaints and provide you feedback and potential solutions. But I won't say any cliche lines like, how did that make you feel? Or, what did you feel about that? I think that's kind of a cop-out when a therapist just answers everything with a, how did you feel about that question? That's their way of saying, I don't want to focus on trying to work hard to help you, so I'll let my mind wander and I'll pretend to be listening by doing reflective listening questions every time you finish a point that you're making, because that just means I don't have to have understood or listened to a single word you said, right? I think psychotherapy should be a little bit more meaty than that, a little more substantive, a little more helpful. Yes, reflective listening, can help people sort through their thoughts and feelings. But they could do that at home on their own, couldn't they? Like, how do I feel about this? Let me go delving down inside myself and think about it from a few other perspectives. You don't really need a therapist there for that. I think that's some Japanese writing, but I'm not sure what it says. Although I think I see a poodle. Do you see the poodle? Poodle dog there, just kind of getting up on its hind legs and leaning on something. Psychologists have, of course, a thing called a Rorschach test, also known as an ink blot test, where they'll have an ink blot and they'll say, what does that mean to you, right? What does it look like to you? And depending on your response, well, we kind of covered this ground already, didn't we? So this thing's a little ominous sometimes, I mean, it could look a little scary if you did it wrong. Let me see if I can make something kind of scary. I don't know what scary would quite look like of this thing, but see, that to me is sort of a scary looking beastie. I think if I practiced on this thing, I could come up with something that would look scarier than that, but I just got this pillow, and I got it because I couldn't resist the colors. Anyone who's watched me for a while knows that a small-brained creature like myself can be attracted to shiny objects, particularly if those shiny objects involve iridescent metallic colors like this. So we'll bring this back another time and do some serious role play work with it. But until then, what is that? A jumping pig? Anyway, until then, I hope that you don't ASMR and drive, and I hope you can relax. And if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up so that I'll be encouraged to come back and make some more. And if you click on the bell by the subscribe button, then you will get notified when I have a new video out. And what else? Go check out my GF channel. She makes ASMR videos about Filipino foods and all kinds of things like that. Scorpio NYT. And yeah, I'll try to remember to write her name on the screen, okay? I always forget when I say things like this. but maybe you know what, I know how to remember. I have to pause and then restart. And then when I'm editing, that's always my cue that there's something to remember. So let me pause and restart, and that's how I'll remember to write her name on the screen. Okay, everyone. Take care, and don't ASMR and drive, and we'll be back with more videos in the future. All right, bye-bye.